head, no gunshots, but they getting low, low, low.
What's up guys, it's Fruitcake Tech here with my first PC build for the month of February. Today is going to be a real quick video going over this awesome $600 1080p 60 FPS mini ITX entry level system. Prices do fluctuate, so do take the price with a grain of salt. These are the prices at the time of me writing the script. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting off with the CPU, I went with the Intel Pentium G4560 dual core processor. This is a great CPU starting off the list, only at $65. It brings 2 cores and hyper-threading, essentially meaning it acts like a quad core. So all games run fine on this processor, and in most cases it beats out the Skylake i3-6100 at a lower price. You shouldn't get much bottlenecking with the GPU I went with for this build, so you get a nice blend of CPU and GPU power. For the cooler, I went with the CryoWake M9i. I know most of you are going to say you don't need a CPU cooler for a stock processor, that it comes with one. Well, I really like how this cooler looked, and obviously you can change the parts list any way you want, but I thought it would bring down temps, allow for turbo speeds even at the highest of loads, and it matches the system we went with, which is an all black build, and I thought it was a steal at only $20. Now for the motherboard, I went with the ASRock H110M ITX Mini ITX motherboard. This is a great budget motherboard, no extra bells and whistles, and it packs a punch for only $50 on Newegg. It does support a new Kaby Lake CPU as well as everything else in the build, and on top of that it comes with wireless AC and Bluetooth 4.0 for those who don't like cables. For the RAM, I didn't go with anything special, just a 8GB G-Skill NT series RAM at around $50. I got it in a 1x8 gig configuration for easy upgrading down the line, and in case you want to add an extra 8 gigs and an i7 to make this an editing build. For the storage, I went with an SSD and a hard drive for a blend of speed and storage. For the SSD, I went with a SanDisk SSD 240GB SSD simply because I think 120GB is too little and 240 should be enough for Windows, your most important applications, and 360GB games with super fast loading speed, only for $75. And for the hard drive, no surprise, I went with the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB, which obviously was my pick for the hard drive. These drives are known for their reliability and speed, and you can pick one up for $50. For the graphics card, I went with the Zotac GTX 1050 Ti. This should be also no surprise. For the cost of $150, you get a 4GB VRAM card, which also looks pretty sleek. No, it's not the fastest or the best looking 1050 Ti, but it's pretty nice looking in my opinion. Honestly, go with whatever 1050 Ti you want, this is just the one I thought matched the build the most. For the case, I went with the pretty underrated case, the Thermaltake Core V21 Micro ATX case at $58. I was going to go with the Mini ITX case, the Core V1, but I saw this was only $7 more, so I thought I'd pick this one up instead. It's Micro ATX, so it gives you a bit more room for the cables and such, and has movable side panels so you can move the glass window to whatever side you want. It comes with a 200mm intake fan, which should be more than adequate to cool down everything, but I do suggest adding another fan in the future if you do want to upgrade. And last but certainly not least, for the power supply, I went with a Corsair CXM 550W 80+ bronze semi-modular power supply, coming in at $70. This is a bit overkill for this build, but if you ever want to upgrade to say a 1070, you now have the possibility to do that. And it is semi-modular, which means you can use the cables you want and the ones you don't, and you can have more clean cable management in a really cramped form factor. Trust me, I have a Mini ITX PC myself, and it can get quite cramped with this semi-modular power supply. You will be fine. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and drop a comment for what you want me to do differently or just thoughts on the video. This is a new series after all, and I'm open to suggestions. And if you want to see more of these videos, because they do take a long time to make, please subscribe, and as always, stay fruity.